It's a sad day for Spurs fans as Heung-Min Son has officially announced, as they're on their tour, that he will be leaving the club and start somewhere else because he wants a fresh challenge. Heung-Min Son came out and said, I have asked to leave Spurs. My decision has been made. I did my best here and I need a fresh challenge now. It's the most difficult decision of my life. I came to North London as a kid. I leave as a young man. I came to North London as a kid, a boy who could not speak English. I leave this club as a young man. Thanks to all Spurs fans who have given me so much love. And honestly, you can only sympathize. Honestly, Heung-Min Son, it's just one of them guys that you just can't hate. And I don't know if it's the case for Arsenal fans. I don't know if they can say the different. I don't know if they can say the same thing. But I've always looked at Son as a very talented player, very good finisher, very neat finisher. Um, and he's always been one of them players that you just can't hate because maybe it's got something to do with the fact that he is a very nice person off the pitch. You know, you see him in different interviews and you see him, the way he behaves himself off the pitch. And I think the most recent one I've got in my head that pops up is when I think he was on television. It must have been like an early kickoff, and he was saying goodbye to everyone, and he gently put the mic down on the table. I think that just kind of embodies his whole demeanor and his whole character. You know, um, so yeah, Heung-Min Son is a very very good person, and I've never met him, but you can just tell. Some people you don't necessarily have to meet them to then make a decision or make or jump to a conclusion, sorry, and say, oh, he's a good person or not. Son is one of them guys. He is he's just a good person. And speaking of his footballing abilities, 10 years at Tottenham Hotspur, came from Bayer Leverkusen, a very talented Bayer Leverkusen squad at the time, got his move to Leverkusen. And I want to bring you back to a tweet that I found, right? The tweet is actually from David Ornstein, and this is from the 26th of August, 2015. And it says, Tottenham considering ending interest in Saido Berahino, but in talks with Bayer Leverkusen to sign Korean forward Heung-Min Son. And you see sometimes, well, not sometimes, when I talk to my friends and I explain to them or I ask them if they believe in the butterfly effect, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Could you have imagined how much different, or could you imagine how much different his career would have been if Tottenham would have signed Saido Berahino? He probably still would have gotten to the top, don't get me wrong, but his career would have been so much different, if Tottenham had signed Berahino instead of Heung-Min Son. Yeah, football would have been completely different. Obviously, he joined the club, and there was a lot of doubt in the beginning in the Spurs fan base. Sorry, a lot of doubt. People not really believing in his potential, but the talent was always there. And one thing I always rate about Heung-Min Son, yeah, and I'll say it out loud, is his ability to be both-footed and be good with his strong foot as well as his weak foot. And that's something I've always banged on about. I've always said, yeah, I expect a professional footballer to be good with both feet. It doesn't make sense to me how you're a professional footballer, right? You train for a minimum of an hour and 30 minutes every day, if not 2 hours. During preseason, there's double sessions. How are you a professional footballer and you're not two-footed? I just do not understand. Call me crazy, but that's my understanding of it. The same way in basketball, you'd expect a basketball player to be able to dribble with his right, but also dribble with his left. Being able to lay up with your right, but also lay up with your left. Obviously, you have a strong side, of course. You have a strong hand and, you have a strong foot in football, basketball, a strong hand. But there's always that expectation, of you're a professional, so you should be able to do stuff with both hands, basketball, and both feet in football. So I've always said that. And I will keep maintaining it. Obviously, you have Mavericks who are extremely strong with their left, and they're so good with their left or right that you almost can use that as an exception. We have exceptions in football when it comes to that. But I've always said Heung-Min Son was extremely well when it came to both feet. He could bang it in with his right. He could bang it in with his left. He could curl it in with his right. He could curl it in with his left. Like, he could do all of that. Passing was on point with his right, with his left. Dribbling was on point with his right, with his left. You know, and I've always rated that. On top of that, he's part of the 100 club in the Premier League, and I've always said, listen, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you play for. If you are in the 100 club or 100 goal club in the Premier League, I respect you. I respect you. And if I'm not wrong, let's just pull up the Heung-Min Son stats. Excuse me, people. Just looking for the stats right now. There we go. Stats, Heung-Min Son. I don't know if this is Premier League only. I think that's overall. 1 second, people. 1 second. I'll be able to find it. This is all live on camera, and I'll be leaving it in. 1 second, guys. Can I find it? Can I find it? No. No. Can I not find it? No. 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 All right, well, no problem. What matters is he's got 100 Premier League goals, over 100 Premier League goals. And if you're able to do that in arguably the toughest, the most entertaining league in the world, like I said, I don't care who you are. You have my respect. I don't quite know the assist numbers, but I think Son was more known for his goals than his assists. And obviously he formed that formidable partnership with Harry Kane, who absolutely used to terrorize the league. And a lot of people are going to look at the trophies and say, well, he didn't win this many trophies. But I think Son is one of those players you look at and you almost make an exception because he stayed loyal to Spurs for so long that in the end, even though last season he didn't play much, in the end, he got his reward and he got the Europa League trophy, qualified Spurs for Champions League. He was the captain, so he was the one to lift that trophy, and you saw how much it meant to him, you know? And speaking of stats, in the Premier League as well, if I'm not wrong, apart from his first season and his last season, which was 24-25 last season, every season he played for Spurs in the Premier League, he got double figures. Now, that's something I can fully respect. No wonder why he got over 100 Premier League goals. Because every season, he gave you consistent double figures. You know? And I think his best goal-scoring season in the Premier League was that season where he won the joint Golden Boot with Mohamed Salah. And I think it was 21-22. And they both had 23 goals. So, yeah, listen, Heung-Min Son, yeah, man, fully respect him. Who would have thought that with Spurs' history of not winning trophies, 10 years later, we would have been sat here talking about Heung-Min Son has led Tottenham to 2 European finals. Because that final, when they went to the Champions League final, don't get it twisted. Harry Kane was injured. Spurs were carried by Son. Son put that team on his back, and he brought that team to the final. And let's be honest, they could have won it if Poch didn't do a madness and start Kane. But, you know, that's a story for another day. And then that Europa League final, of course. Son didn't play a huge part, but he was part of the team that made it to the final. In the end, he got a few minutes as well. I think Postecoglou played him in the end. And yeah, he got his reward, man. He got his well-deserved reward, leaves the club as an absolute legend. He is a Spurs legend. Whether he's a bigger legend than Harry Kane at Spurs, that's for Spurs fans, you know, to debate on. But I think he's definitely a Spurs legend. And listen, I can think of worse places to finish your career. He's going to LAFC, you know? I can think of worse places. So he fully deserved this send-off. And I think 10 years, so he qualifies for a testimonial, right? So listen, I think Spurs fans will definitely ask for that. And yeah, Heung-Min Son, man, listen, I've watched Expressions' video already. He's probably one of the biggest Heung-Min Son fans out there, if I'm honest. And for someone to have such an impact on the club related to the country he's from, I mean, the reason why South Korea has so many Spurs fans is literally because of Son. So fully respect Son. And, you know, going into a different part of his career without disrespecting Spurs and without disrespecting his career, I mean, Son, you just wonder, because there was a time where, I think it was in 2021, summer 2021, Harry Kane was forcing a move to Man City. I think Man City even put in like £100 million bid and it got rejected by Spurs. And I think Son was thinking of leaving as well. And Son has always been one of them guys where around 2018-19 already, when Mourinho was at the club, I was screaming. And I mean, people that have been watching my content from then, I've been saying, listen, Heung-Min Son is a Manchester United player. We should be bringing in someone like Heung-Min Son. And at the time, I was getting bombarded with messages. You're crazy. We've got Rashford. We've got this, and we've got Lingard. And I've always said, Heung-Min Son is one of them guys you just have to sign, because at one point he was just too good for Spurs. He was too good. And it brings me to my next point, and I'm going, you just wonder, how much more could he have won? How much bigger could he have been if he left Spurs in that summer of 2021 before he signed a new deal? How much more of a legacy could he have left in the Premier League? But, that's all shoulda, coulda, woulda. You never know, and we'll never know. But, I just asked myself that question. But, listen, my full respect to Heung-Min Son. I'm sure where he's going to go in the MLS for LAFC, he's going to smash it. He's going to play well. I think he still plays and captains South Korea, so he will definitely be at the World Cup next year. He's going to bring a whole wave of South Korean fans to LAFC, so, even marketing-wise, that's just going to be amazing. So I think, overall, listen, there's nothing bad to say about Heung-Min Son. Some of the bangers that he scored against some of the teams in the Premier League, Arsenal, they've seen Son score some bangers against them, So, yeah, man, listen, respect to Son, respect to South Korea, and respect to all Spurs fans. Listen, you guys are letting go of an absolute legend. And he's walking out through the big door, man, with a trophy in his hand. So that deserves some respect. Spurs fans, let me know what you think in the comment section below. You know what to do, people. It's road to 20K, closing in on 18K. And before we leave, you know what to do, man. A word from our sponsor. This is the last day, but we'll be back. Like, share, comment, subscribe, people. And I'm out. Peace. Today's video was sponsored by Subway Mark Collection. Now listen, it's summertime. I know you want to hit that beach. I know you want to go to that birthday party. Listen, I know you want to go to that wedding. What better pair of shades to make you feel like you're the flyest person in the room or on the beach than Subway Mark Collection? The mission is to build a brand that reflects empowerment. Life is a journey full of obstacles that we can't escape, and you need to have self-confidence and trust in yourself to overcome those challenges. The vision is to empower you to accept yourself as you are, and know that you're a unique breed and there's only one of you. Life is a marathon. Hold your vision and trust the process. Add a finishing touch to your outfit with these slick and sharp sunglasses. A lifestyle that empowers. Hit the link in the description and get yours now.